Hey everybody, it's me again, AZARIH, and welcome back to the second rendition of my y2k It Girl studies, where I go through girls who had an impact on me and what I've learned from them. Today's a bit of a shorter one. We're bringing in the y2k It Girl, KD Aubert. I remember the first time I saw KDA, and what makes her a y2k It Girl to me was her appearance in the classic Into You video with Tania and Fabulous. Oh wow, when I first saw her I was like, wow, like God, you actually make beautiful people. I couldn't stop watching her, and I think I could probably go back to check that video just to look at her at least 3 times a year. She's just stunning. Born Karen Denise Aubert on December 6th, 1978, she's described herself as being mixed with African American and Creole. She was discovered when working at Macy's. She reported to Creole magazine that she was discovered working behind the counter, and I feel like that's the point I'm going to focus on today, because that's the part of the story that inspires me the most. I know it's such a small random detail, it's not even like we've not even gone that far in her life or career, but listen to what I have to say, okay? So even just doing these documentaries right now, as I was typing the script for this documentary, a voice was telling me that I should stop, because I already know what my life goals are, and that voice knows what my life goals are apparently, and there's just no way that this video documentary series can ever get me there. And I almost listened to that voice, but I didn't, because if KD Aubert can be discovered working at Macy's, I can get to where I want to go with this stage in the middle. For my Halle Berry documentary, you'll hear that I was kind of saying similar stuff. It's really a message I feel like, I guess, God is really trying to emphasize right now in my life, and for you to hear, because it just keeps coming up again and again. Zechariah 4 verse 10 is what came to mind. It says, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." I saw a video on Instagram yesterday, and it was saying God doesn't love a better version of you, a more successful version of you. He doesn't love the version of you you're going to become after you've walked with him and he's helped you. He doesn't love the version of you, when you've completed your will and he's saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." He doesn't love a less addicted version of you, or a less angry version of you, or a more emotionally healthy version of you. He loves you exactly as you are. That doesn't mean he's not going to change you. I know for a fact the Holy Spirit has changed so many things within me since I've been walking with Christ, but he loves you as you are now. I feel like this world we can be surrounded by people, grow up around people who will qualify their love for us and tell us that we have to be this way or that way before they can love us, but God doesn't like those people. And even if those people made valid points, maybe you do genuinely have, we're all human, like we do have issues. I have things that I can work on, and I'm not saying that that means I should never change, and all those people who said that they couldn't love me because of this and that were wrong. I mean, being lovable and being easy to love is not the same thing. Everybody is lovable. The Bible does call us to love everybody, because everybody is capable of being loved. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that because someone is loved that they should stay exactly how they are. Just because somebody can be loved as they are does not mean they should not improve. Anyways, moving back to KD Aubert. Yes, do not despise humble beginnings. If you want to go and work in a cinema, but you want to be an actress, go and work in a cinema. Do what you can do now. Make the most of the resources you have now, because you do not know where that's going to end up for you. And I'm such a hypocrite saying this, but as I'm saying, I'm praying for others listening to this, that we will both start to seriously heed this message and actually walk in our destiny, and seriously just make advantage of what we have around us right now. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 6 says, "Sow your seed in the morning and at evening. Let not your hands be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. Light is sweet, and it pleases the eyes to see the sun." You never know what will get you to where you're supposed to be. Ruth did not know that the job that she went to scrape a living from after she lost her husband was owned by her future husband. Just do what you can do within reason, and don't be as scared to do more than one thing at once. If you can, if you have time, you have the resources, go ahead. You never know which one of those seeds will be successful. You don't know if the seeds you sowed yesterday morning aren't going to bloom, but the ones you sowed in the middle of the day when you were caught by a random flash of inspiration will bloom the next. You understand the point that I'm making. Do not be embarrassed because you don't look like your end result straight away. That's why it is the end result. So before she was seen in famous roles like Soul Plane and the Friday franchise, before she was working with Nick Cannon and George Clooney, she was just working behind the counter at Macy's. What is your Macy's counter? And imagine, think of it this way, okay? So she's obviously a gorgeous woman, but she could have thought to herself, I'm just working at Macy's, I mean, just turn up to work looking anyhow, just hair rough, nothing, thinking, well, when I'm famous, I'll start looking good or whatever. I do that. I definitely, can take less care of myself than I should. Because I don't know, I just feel like, oh well, I don't need to, and who's going to see me? You don't know who's going to see you, especially if you aspire to be a creative in a creative career. Have that talent on point, have a song rehearsed, have a track you can pull out and show somebody. Be ready, walk into wherever you're going, have your makeup done. If you want to be a model, for example, have yourself looking presentable. Even if you don't wear makeup, just don't wait to get to where you are to look like where you should be. But at the same time, don't be embarrassed if you don't look like where you should be, where you are. That probably made no sense, but if it did make sense, please write that down. Take notes. So yes, that is what stood out to me in the life of Katie Aubert, and I just pray for her that she continues to have just a wonderful, successful career, and that hopefully it all goes well for her, because she is still in the middle of her career, just like all of these it girls, the ones who are still alive, still with us. Life is a journey. Success is a journey. Thank you for tuning in to this second episode. I'll be doing so many more because I have so much more time now. And if you've not seen my Halle Berry episode, please do. And stay tuned for the next one where I reveal the next of my top picks for my y2k it girls. Bye.